Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Welcome all to today's reading from Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita, Adi Lila, chapter 8, verse 25. Tad ashma saram riddhyam batedam batedadam yad grihya hari nam dehe na vikriye tatha tath yada vikaro netre jalam gatra ruheshu harasha. That ashmasaram as hard as iron, riddhyam heart, bata o idam this, yet which, griyamane in spite of taking the chanting, harinam dheya meditating on the holy name of the Lord, does not vikriyeta change, atha thus yada when, vikaraha transformation, netre in the eyes, jalam tears, gatra ruheshu in the pores of the body, harasha ecstasy. Mukam karati vachalam pangum langayate girim yat kripatam umande Shri Guru Dintarinam Parmananda Madhavam Shri Chaitanyeshwara Hariyam Tatsa. Translation: If one's heart does not change, tears do not flow from his eyes, his body does not shiver, and his bodily hair do not stand on end as he chants the Hare Krishna Mahamantra, it should be understood that his heart is as hard as iron. This is due to his offenses at the lotus feet of the Lord's holy name. Purport: Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, commenting on this verse, which is a quotation from Srimad Bhagavatam 2.3.24, remarks that sometimes a Mahabhagavat or very advanced devotee does not manifest such transcendental symptoms as tears in the eyes, whereas sometimes a Kanishta Adhikari, a neophyte devotee, displays them artificially. This does not mean, however, that the neophyte is more advanced than the Mahabhagavat devotee. The test of the real change of heart that takes place when one chants the Hare Krishna Mahamantra is that one becomes detached from material enjoyment. This is the real change. Bhakti Pareshanubhavo Viraktir Anyatra Cha, Bhagavatam 11th Canto, 2nd chapter, 42 verse. If one is actually advancing in spiritual life, he must become very much detached from material enjoyment. If it's sometimes found that a Kanishta Adhikari neophyte devotee shows artificial tears in his eyes while chanting the Hare Krishna mantra, but is still completely attached to material things, his heart has not really changed. The change must be manifested in terms of one's real activities. Okay, now we move to verse 26. Eka Krishna Name Kare Sarva Papa Nasha Premera Karan Bhakti Karena Prakasha. Eka one Krishna Name, by chanting the holy name of Lord Krishna, Kare makes Sarva all Papa sinful life, Nasha exhausted, Premera of love of Godhead, Karana cause, Bhakti devotional service, Karena becomes, Prakash manifest. Translation: simply chanting the Hare Krishna Mahamantra without offenses vanquishes all sinful activities. Thus pure devotional service, which is the cause of the love of Godhead, becomes manifest. Purport: one cannot be situated in the devotional service of the Lord unless one is free from sinful activity life. This is confirmed in the Bhagavad Gita 7.28. Yesham tva antagatam papam jnananam punya karmanam Twadvandva moha nirmukta bhajante mam drida vrita. Persons who have acted piously in previous lives and in this life, and those sinful actions are completely eradicated, are freed from the duality of delusion, and they engage themselves in my service with determination. A person who is already in sinful life engages Eka Krishna Name. Only by chanting Krishna's name is this possible. This is confirmed in Srimad Bhagavatam 12th Canto, 3rd chapter, 51st verse. Kirtanad eva Krishnasya mukta sangha Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has also taught us this while passing on the road. He used to chant Krishna, 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 Hey, Krishna, 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 Hey, Krishna, 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 Rakshamam, Krishna, 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 Pahimam, Ram Raghav, Ram Raghav, Ram Raghav, Rakshamam, Krishna Keshav, Krishna Keshav, Krishna Keshav, Pahimam. If one always chants the holy name of the Krishna, gradually one is freed from all reactions of sinful life, provided he chants offenselessly and does not commit more sinful activities on the strength of chanting the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. In this way, one is purified, and his devotional service causes the arousal of his dormant love of God. If one simply chants the Hare Krishna mantra and does not commit sinful activities and offenses, one's life is purified, and thus one comes to the fifth stage of perfection or engagement in the loving service of the Lord. Prema Pum Artho Mahan. Now we move on to verse number 27. Premera Uday Haya Premera Vikara Sweda Kampa Pulakadi Gadgada Shrudhara. Premera of love of Godhead, Udaye, when there is awakening, Haya, it becomes so. Premera of love of Godhead, Vikara transformation, Sweda perspiration, Kampa trembling, Pulaka Adi throbbing of the heart, Gadgada faltering, Ashrudhara tears in the eyes. Translation: when one's transcendental loving service to the Lord is actually awakened, it generates transformations in the body such as perspiration, trembling, throbbing of the heart, faltering of the voice, and tears in the eyes. Purport: these bodily transformations are automatically manifested when one is actually situated in love of Godhead. One should not artificially imitate them. Our disease is desire for that which is material. Even while advancing in spiritual life, we want material acclaim. One must be freed from this disease. Pure devotion must be anyabhilashita shunyam, without desires for anything material. Advanced devotees manifest many bodily transformations which are symptoms of ecstasy, but one should not imitate them to achieve cheap adoration from the public. When one actually attains the advanced stage, the ecstatic symptoms will appear automatically. One does not need to imitate them. Verse 28. Anayase bhavakshaya krishnera sevana eka krishna namera phale pai eta dhana. Anayase, without hard labor. Bhavakshaya, stoppage of repetition of birth and death. Krishnera, of Lord Krishna. Sevana, service. Eka, one Krishna. Namera, chanting the name of Krishna. Phale, as a result of pai, we achieve eta, so much. Dhana, wealth. Translation: as a result of chanting the Hare Krishna Mahamantra, one makes such great advancement in spiritual life that simultaneously his material existence terminates and he receives love of Godhead. The holy name of Krishna is so powerful that by chanting even one name, one very easily achieves these transcendental riches. Verses 29 and 30. Hena Krishna nama yadi laya bahubara tabu yadi prema nahe nahe ashrudhara tabe jani aparadha tahate prachura Krishna nama bija tahe na kare ankura. Hena, such, Krishna nama, holy name of the Lord. Yadi, if, laya, one takes, bahubara, again and again, tabu, still. Yadi, if, prema, love of Godhead. Nahe, is not visible. Nahe, ashrudhara, there are no tears in the eyes. Tabe, then, jani, I understand. Aparadha, offense. Tahate, in that process. Prachura, enough. Krishna nama, the holy name of the Krishna. Bija, seed. Tahe, in those activities. Na, does not. Kare, do, ankur, sprout. Translation: if one chants the exalted holy name of the Lord again and again, and yet his love for the Supreme Lord does not develop and tears do not appear in his eyes, it is evident that because of his offenses in chanting the seed of the holy name of the Krishna does not sprout. But if one chants the Hare Krishna mantra offensively, one does not achieve the desired result. Therefore, one should carefully avoid the offenses which have already been described in connection with verse 24. Verse 32, 31. Chaitanya Nityanande nahi e sab vicharya, naam laite prema dena vahe ashrudhara. Chaitanya Nityananda, when chanting the holy names of Lord Chaitanya Nityananda, nahi, there are not a sabha, all these, which are considerations, nama, the holy name, laite, simply by chanting, prema, love of Godhead, dena, they give, vahe, there is a flow, ashrudhara, tears in the eyes, translation, but if one only chants with some slight faith the holy names of Lord Chaitanya Nityananda, very quickly he is cleansed of all offenses. Thus, as soon as he chants the Hare Krishna Mahamantra, he feels the ecstasy of love for Godhead. Purport. Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur remarks in his connection that if one takes shelter of Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Nityananda, follows their instructions to become more tolerant in the tree and humbler in the grass, in this way chants the holy name of the Lord, very soon achieves the platform of transcendental loving service to the Lord, and tears appear in his eyes. There are offenses to be considered in chanting the Hare Krishna Mahamantra, but there are no such considerations in chanting the names of Gaura Nityananda. Therefore, if one chants the Hare Krishna Mahamantra, but his life is still full of sinful activities, it will be very difficult for him to achieve the platform of loving service to the Lord. But if in spite of being an offender, one chants the holy names of Gaura Nityananda, he is very quickly freed from the reactions to his offenses. Therefore, one should first approach Lord Chaitanya Nityananda or worship Guru Gauranga and then come to the stage of worshipping Radha Krishna. In our Krishna consciousness movement, our students are first advised to worship Guru Gauranga, and then when they are somewhat advanced, the Radha Krishna deity is installed and they are engaged in the worship of the Lord. One should first take shelter of Guru Gaura Nityananda in order to reach ultimately Radha Krishna. Srila Narottam Das Thakur sings in this connection, Gauranga balite haibe pulak sharira, hari hari balite naine babe nira. Ar kabe nitai chandera, karuna haibe, samsara vasana murakabe tucha haibe habe. Vishaya chadiya kabe shuddha habe mana, kabe hama heraba Shri Vrindavana. In the beginning, one should very regularly chant Shri Gaurasundar's holy name and then chant the holy name of Lord Nityananda. Thus, one's heart will be cleansed of impure desires for material enjoyment. Then one can approach Vrindavan Dham to worship Lord Krishna. Unless one is favored by Lord Chaitanya and Nityananda, there is no need to go to Vrindavan. For unless one's mind is purified, he cannot see Vrindavan. Even if he goes there, actually going to Vrindavan involves taking shelter of the six Goswamis by reading the Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, Vidgadha Madhav, Lalita Madhav, and other books that they have given. In this way, one can understand the transcendental loving affairs between Radha and Krishna. Kabe Ham Bhujaba Se Yugala Piriti. The conjugal love between Radha and Krishna is not an ordinary human affair, it is fully transcendental. In order to understand Radha and Krishna, worship them and engage in their loving service, one must be guided by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Nityananda Prabhu, and the six Goswamis, Lord Chaitanya's direct disciples. For an ordinary man, worship of Sri Chaitanya and Nityananda Prabhu or the Panchatattva is easier than worship of Radha and Krishna. Unless one is very fortunate, he should not be induced to worship Radha Krishna directly. A neophyte student who is not sufficiently educated or enlightened should not indulge in the worship of Sri Radha and Krishna or the chanting of Hare Krishna mantra. Even if it does so, he cannot get the desired result. One should therefore chant the names of Nattai Gaura and worship them without false prestige. Since everyone within this material world is more or less influenced by sinful activities, in the beginning it is essential that one take to the worship of Guru Gauranga and ask their favor for this. Despite all his disqualifications, one will very soon become qualified to worship the Radha Krishna Vigraha. If it should be noted in this connection that the holy names of Lord Krishna and Gaurasundar are both identical with the Supreme Personality of Godhead, therefore one should not consider one name to be more potent than the other, considering the position of the people of this age. However, the chanting of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's name is more essential than the chanting of the Hare Krishna Mahamantra, because Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is the most magnanimous incarnation and his mercy is very easily achieved. Therefore, one must first take shelter of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu by chanting Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda, Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda. By serving Gaura Nityananda, one is freed from the entanglements of material existence and thus becomes qualified to worship the Radha and Krishna deity. Verse 32. Swatantra Ishwara Prabhu Atyant Udar Tanre na Bajile Kabhu na Haya Nistar. Swatantra Ishwar, the fully independent Supreme Lord, Prabhu the Lord, Atyant very Udar magnanimous, Tanre unto him na without, Bajile worshipping, Kabuna never at any time, Haya becomes so, Nistar liberation. Translation: Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, the independent Supreme Personality of Godhead, is really magnanimous. Unless one worships him, one can never be liberated. Purport: Sri Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur here remarks that one should not give up the worship of Radha Krishna to worship Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. By worshipping either Radha Krishna or Lord Chaitanya alone, one cannot become advanced. One should not try to supersede the instructions of the six Goswami, for they are acharyas and very dear to Lord Chaitanya. Therefore, Narottam Das Thakur sings, Rupa Raghunath Pade Haibe Akuti Kabe Hama Bhujaba Se Yugala Piriti. One must be submissive student of six Goswamis, from Srila Rupa Goswami to Raghunath Das Goswami, not following their instructions but imagining how to worship Gaurasundar and Radha Krishna is a great offense, as a result of which one clears a path to hell. If one neglects the instructions of the six Goswamis and yet becomes so-called devotee of Radha Krishna, he merely criticizes the real devotees of Radha Krishna. As a result of speculation, he considers Gaurasundara to be an ordinary devotee and therefore cannot make progress in serving the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Radha and Krishna. So we'll stop our reading here and we'll continue next time. Wish you all a very happy Mohini Ekadashi, those of you who are going to fast tomorrow. Hare Tat Sat, Hare Krishna.